Good evening. I figured I was gonna make a video for you guys. Anybody that follows or whatever. I wanted to say that I haven't made a video in 2 months, and I've been really stressed in my thoughts and stuff like that, and I'm really trying to get out of that. There's an update. I have been taking Lexapro for a little over 6 months, and I was at 20 milligrams per day. I think like a couple weeks ago, I just started noticing that, when I take the 20 milligrams at night is when I take it. I started getting this like pit feeling in my stomach and my chest. I don't like. It's not really anxiety. It's not really depression, but it's like a pit feeling like, hey, I don't like it. So I need to, I've been praying about it, see what to do. And I decided that I'm gonna, cut down the medicine a little bit. I tried taking 15 milligrams from 20, so -5. I did that for about 4 or 5 days. And honestly, the first like 3 or 4 days, man, walk in the park, Then the 5th day, wow, it kind of hit me, man. I was like, oh, geez, this ain't good, So I started to assess what was going on. And I decided to take 17.5 milligrams, which is basically the 110 milligram pill, half of that, and then half of that. I talked to my primary care, well, I talked to my psychiatrist, and I don't really feel like we're on the same level that I have with other doctors before. And that's just sometimes how it works, like sometimes you don't mesh well, or sometimes you feel like, well, I don't really think that person knew kind of thing what was going on with me. And maybe that was my own fault for not fully communicating that or whatever, but only you know yourself the best. So I've been taking 17.5 milligrams of Lexapro, I want to say about almost a week. I don't really have that much anxiety from not taking it. I mean, I just struggle with anxiety every now and then, but as opposed to like withdrawal issues, I don't really have that big a problem. Sometimes I do feel low, and I take 500 milligram or 500 IUs of vitamin D3, and I get this stuff from gnc.com, or just go to your GNC if you're here in the US. And I get little capsules. I don't personally like the gel caps like you can get from Walmart and stuff like that. I don't like it. I like something a little bit bigger. It's probably about that big, and it kind of seems like it would work better rather than a little tiny gel cap. So yeah, so I wanted to give an update on that. I wanted to give some other updates. I've been having a lot of stomach issues. I've been having stomach issues for a long time, actually. I cut out dairy, which was definitely hard. I cut out gluten for the most part, which is definitely hard. I started doing that to lose weight, but at the same time, like, I'm not really focused on losing weight right now. I mean, I am, but more on the fact of having my stomach not hurt every 5 seconds. When I was eating cheese and, dairy and all that stuff, I noticed I was bloating a lot and getting sick. I definitely still have those. I've been doing a pretty close low FODMAP diet for that, with minor tweaks, of course, because not everything that's on the low FODMAP is what will hurt you or what's good for you, yada, yada, yada. You got to figure that out. I downloaded an app, I think it's called My Low FODMAP or something like that, and it kind of gives you a reference on what kind of foods you can eat and stuff like that. I want to say my intrusive thoughts, still have them, still pretty taxing, but I'm learning to not dig into them so much. Like, you know, if you have intrusive thoughts and stuff like that, and OCD or whatever you want to call it, you know, obsessing over the thoughts and stuff like that, that's what I do. It's real easy to kind of get stuck in that loop of beating yourself up, trying to reassure yourself, praying about it, asking God for reassurance, asking this, and that. And something I learned is myself and being a Christian, I just need to start having faith. You know, not to say that everybody that has OCD can just let it go. And that's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying, like, you know, God says, like, you know, cast all our cares on him because he cares for us. And I've been trying that and really doing that and really trying to seek God in this, because, you know, the more that I noticed that I would try to do it on my own, or, you know, get mad about it and ask God, why, you know, like, I'm starting to learn that there is a way for me to live and there's a way for me not to live. And God does give unconditional love for those who believe in him, and I believe in that. I do believe that, you know, if I'm sitting here, you know, listening to metal every day, which I like metal, but some of that stuff's real negative, man, and it's like real taxing on my mind, especially for those who have intrusive thoughts and are Christians. You know what I'm talking about. Don't act like you don't. I know you do, whether you realize it or not. You know, these lyrics in the music, you'll say, oh, this and that, you know, I don't want to repeat it because I don't want to listen to it, you know. I'm really trying to not only just music, and some people might think that's religious, and I don't really think that is. I mean, you know, God calls us to live a certain way, and, you know, we're not all Ned Flanders, you know, because everybody has that analogy sometimes. I'm like, man, I'm not Ned Flanders. I can't do that. I got tattoos, and I cuss sometimes, and I drink wine and beer. I'm like, hey, you know, like with the whole cussing thing, I don't want to do it because it's kind of hurting my spirit, you know? Like, I don't want to be thinking that way, and I don't want to be listening to cuss words and stuff like that when I'm listening to music, you know? Like, even like, man, like something I'm learning is like the stuff that you're putting in your mind, like music and movies and stuff like that, really affects you, especially for those of us that have anxiety and intrusive thoughts. Like, we really got to put that stuff off. That's just my experience. That's a lot of people's experience, you know. I would absolutely love to pray for you and pray with you. I've had some really cool things happen. We've been blessed with a house. I'm actually in the garage, which is amazing because we've been living in apartments for like five plus years, and, you know, we've really been blessed by it. God's really been blessing us. One thing I do want to say is I like lifting weights and, you know, not really bodybuilding, but like powerlifting and stuff like that, and getting stronger and stuff. And, you know, we living in these times of coronavirus and people rioting, and, you know, if you're a weightlifter or like lifting weights or whatever, you know that it's like $2 to $3 a pound for weights, and that just sucks. But that's just the way the market is, and you can't even buy stuff on, you know, Dick's Sporting Goods or Big Five Sporting Goods or Rogue.com or anything. Everything's sold out. And you kind of wonder, like, are those people actually working out? And or those people like, oh yeah, I'm going to the gym like once every 5 weeks. Like, oh, you know. So I was getting really, really stressed out about it. Like, to the point of like having panic attacks, almost having panic attacks, you know, like, you know, watching the news and watching people be crazy, and me thinking I need to be a Marine all the time and, you know, fight people and stuff like that. Like, I'm always going to be thinking Marine Corps thoughts, you know, but at the same time, I don't need to be watching more war movies and watching, you know, X-rated, you know, I don't watch porn, but like stuff that has that stuff in it, man. I'm trying to like just blind my eyes from it. I don't want to see it, man. Like, I don't even want to go to the gym anymore. So we've been blessed with like having gym stuff here. But the point I wanted to make though was I was stressing about the gym stuff so much to having anxiety, And I was praying to God. I was like, man, like I just, you know, God, please, like, help me find gym stuff. Help me not be so stressed and anxious. And I remember I went to, I think it was at Dick's Sporting Goods, and I was looking around, and I remember, you know, I think I prayed like once or twice that morning about the same topic, and I felt like God was like, you're letting this control you. I'm like, man, I am letting myself, this is controlling me. And he's a God of peace. He called to set us free, man. So if he's called us that, and we're putting ourselves in this yoke and this binding and bondage of not having gym equipment, number one, I get it. You know, I'm a human too. Like, we all stress about things, and but I already have so much stress and anxiety and intrusive thoughts and, you know, dealing with the enemy and whatnot. I don't need to add not being able to lift heavy weights to my situation, you know. And like I was saying, like what I learned from that, like God was telling me, is like, you know, don't let anything be your master. I believe that's in the Bible. Don't let anything be your master. You know, I used to dip, you know, put a good dip in, you know, that song. I used to dip a long time ago, and I really kind of made that my master. I didn't even realize it. And I've been dip free for 5 or 6 years, maybe 7 years. Occasionally I still have dip dreams. That's a crazy one, but I mean, whatever. But just don't let things be your master. So if you're stressing out about the coronavirus, if you're stressing out about, you know, going fishing and not catching anything every time you go, or if you're stressing about, you know, like the Black Lives Matter and people, you know, rioting, I mean, stuff like that, we just gotta like let it go. Like, it's really hard to, and I can honestly say that the medicine helps me. Trying to get closer to God absolutely helps me. And really trying to practice mindfulness. A lot of the Wounded Warrior Project and the VA and stuff like that, they always talk about mindfulness. And when you first hear that, you just want to be like, okay, well, I'm ready to buck up and fight something. But guess what? There's usually nothing to fight. And so you really got to like put your guard down and just kind of roll with it. You know, like, it's not going to help you to be angry. Listen to 5 Finger Death Punch when you're mad. Sometimes it's great, but all the time, I don't want to listen to it, man. I appreciate what they do for the military, but like, man, like, it just, some of it's so negative, man. And I mean, I might get some backlash for that, and that's great, because I'm just speaking my truth, you know. This is a long video, but I'm really trying to read the Bible more and have a relationship with God more, as opposed to like religious, you know, follow these things or burn in hell kind of thing, as opposed to God's grace, where he said, there's no condemnation for you, for those who believe in me. So just relax. And that's like a daily struggle, of course, but I'm learning to embrace God more and not want to fight everything and everybody. It's taken me a long time to do that. So believer, I tell you, it's going to take some time, but you know, I used to pray so much, just God, please take this away. Please take this away. I've learned to turn that into, God, please give me strength, and please give me resilience and perseverance, and help me to turn away from my sins, and help me to die to myself daily. For those who believe, they kind of know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, please ask me, and I will definitely share what I believe and what the Bible says. But yeah, like, you know, just trying to stay busy. I'm going to make some other videos too. I've been having the stomach issues, and Thursday I go on Thursday for an upper endoscopy. It's where they like stick a little tube down your esophagus and your stomach, and they take a little sample. And it sounds really painful, but it's really not. Like, it's like one of those things where like they put you under, and then you wake up and it feels like it was like 30 seconds, like 5 seconds. It was like a couple hours. So it's really kind of cool. I guess you kind of get a little bit mindful sleep, I guess. And it's not that bad. It doesn't hurt, nothing crazy. I do have anxiety about it every now and then I've had it done a couple times, but it's not terrible. I also have looked into like testosterone and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm a big guy, but like there's a lot of mood issues that I have. And I feel like I have my moods up and down all the time and, you know, stuff like that. So I actually went to the VA today and put in, you know, did blood work for it. So I'll be making some videos on that, see what they say. So I don't know if I have low testosterone or not, but I have symptoms. So well, I appreciate you guys kicking it with me. One of these days I need to make a fishing video, but I've been having not so great luck with fishing. So maybe one of those days where freaking flies coming around here. Maybe one of those days where I catch some fish and hopefully I know this isn't really a fishing channel, but this is just kind of everything, I guess. Where I live at, I think it's this month or next month, June or July, we'll be stocking up the lakes and all that good stuff. So I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah. I'm going to make some other videos. Maybe not tonight, but maybe tomorrow, more about like marriage and dying to yourself. I just want to give you a quick preview on that. As a Bible believing Christian man, you know, I'm learning that I got to die to myself, to God, well, to my old self, and to like live for God and live for my wife. And not so much live for myself as opposed to like what I want to do and what I think my wife should do and what I think everybody else should do. It's really more of like, how can I live like a more biblical man and like be kingdom minded? And so I'm gonna be making some videos on that. I know I say that, but I know it's been 2 months since I made a video, but I'm really kind of coming into my own. I've been really kind of trying to relax on myself a little bit. So thanks for tuning in this super long video. Hopefully it uploads on YouTube tonight. That'd be cool. If you guys have any questions or mean comments, send them my way. That's cool. I can handle it. Well, I'll see you guys later. Love you guys. Peace.